Peace talks between Yemen's warring parties are underway in Sweden to kick off the process. Both sides have agreed to swap prisoners, but they still have to agree on several sticking points. The civil war has pushed Yemen to the verge of famine. A new report says millions are affected. For more on this, Steve Taravella from the World Food Programme joins us now from New York. It's very good to have you with us, Steve Taravella. Tell us about what people are experiencing there, how they're suffering from the lack of food and nutrition.
Sure, and thanks for having us, Jane. Appreciate the chance to tell your viewers what's going on. And you're right, suffering is the word. In Yemen right now, things are as bad as they get with humanitarian aid. People who've worked in humanitarian assistance their entire careers say they have not seen things as dire as this right now. The report that you reference confirms our fears that of the enormity of the problem. Approximately 15.9 million people in severe hunger conditions. That's half the population of the country. If you can imagine half of any other country's populace not knowing where their next meal is coming from, you have some sense of the scope and scale of this tragedy. And of those, about 63,000 are truly facing starvation, famine-like conditions that we and other agencies like the World Food Programme are trying to ward off.
And, you know, they're suffering from this, they're suffering from cholera, and, you know, there's such a horrific fallout from this ongoing crisis. Steve, talk us through how difficult it is to prepare for the next season, for the next year, under these circumstances. What are the struggles that they face?
I would say it's not even a matter of preparing for the next year. For many of these people, survival is day to day. They literally do not know where their next meal is coming from. WFP is feeding 7 to 8 million hungry Yemenis every month. We've been doing that as part of an enormous operation, and we are now scaling up to feed up to 12 million people a month, with special emphasis on women and children who aren't getting food and nutrition they need. The most important thing that has to happen in the future is a cessation of fighting. The hostilities have to stop because it's conflict that's preventing us and others from reaching people with life-saving food, and access so that we and others can get to these people. Because during conflict settings like this, it's difficult for people to come out safely to seek food. It's difficult for us to enter because roads have been blocked, normal food transport paths have been destroyed. We need the warring parties to allow full humanitarian access so that while fighting continues, we can get in and help people who need basic survival
And
tools.
tell us a little bit more about the report, what it has shown us that we don't know before, and what you hope the end game of this report will be.
Well, the report is a guide for agencies like ours and others to shape our humanitarian response over the coming months. We need to have a sense of how severe the hunger crisis is in different pockets so we know what kind of response to mount. It is bad. It's bad in numbers and it's bad in reality. Our executive director, David Beasley, recently visited Yemen and came back with truly tragic stories of people he encountered going just trying to live day to day. Children who are so weak from lack of food that they can't even muster the energy for a smile. And I think many of us working in developed countries can't imagine being too weak to even smile. So the situation is just truly dire, and we really are appealing to people to help both with political support to end the fighting.
And Steve, let me just ask you,
I mean, friends, family, and others to.
Obviously, this is, truly horrific.
Yes.
The Saudi-led invasion, which has been getting the support of the US and Britain when it comes to intelligence and arms. What are you hoping will come out of these talks which will make their lives better? And do you think they're prepared to listen?
You know, my agency isn't a party to the discussion, so I can't comment on the negotiations. I'm following those as you are.
Correct.
But we do know that they're critically important because these lives won't be saved until the fighting stops. Humanitarian aid can enable people to live longer, but it's not going to solve the problem. Only a stop to the fighting will.
Well, thank you for your focus on helping those millions and for telling us what's going on there. Steve Taravella, thank you.